again with another look at where the market has been and hopefully where the market is going. That'll help us in our trades, eh? Speaking of way to go Canada. Doggone good hockey game, but they pulled it out in overtime. What a great game. It would have been a Cinderella story to see USA come back and score that goal in overtime. But oh well, it was a great tournament, great game. Gave them something to talk about and give us something to shoot for next time. In my eyes, we beat them once, they beat us once. We tied. We should both get a goal. That's just me, though. All right, so let's look at the market now. Since the end of the month, I'm going to go ahead and do something a little bit differently here. What I'm going to do is we're going to look at, these are all going to be, we're going to start with 10-year monthly charts, okay? So these are monthly charts. Each candle represents a month. So 10-year monthly charts. I'm going to start doing this at the end of the month. I used to do it just kind of randomly throughout. I'm going to start doing this at the end of every month just so we can kind of get an eye on what we're looking at. Big picture, because the big picture is very important in overall trading. So this is the VIX. You can see here's 10 years, so 2000's back here. This is 2010, right where we're at right now. Clearly in a downtrend. Clearly right in this area I talked about before, this support area, this 1950, $17, $19 area. We're just going sideways on that, much like we expected. Still looks pretty bearish. I mean, you've got a couple of real nice top wicks here. You got a bottom wick here, but this is a pretty bearish candle overall. Histogram, RSI both down into the oversold area basically, but still the histogram's way low. So on the monthly, the VIX looks pretty bearish still, but obviously it could rally at any time on there. Here's the Dow. The Dow, we had this nice long rally, boom, 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 all white candles. All white candles during our doji candle here, two dojis, until this is our first black candles last month. And now we got an inside candle here. We got the 20 moving average beneath the 50 moving average still. So it's off of this move here. It's still down. The move is definitely flattening. You can see it's definitely flattening here. We're starting to trend down a little bit. The indicators are all still kind of pointing up. They haven't crossed down yet, so we could still bounce up off of this. The key area to watch obviously is going to be this high from last month, not February but January. January's high is going to be the key, okay? It's just looking a little bit bearish right here. Looking a little bit toppy, okay? So let's look at the SPX as another one. Come on, load. So here's the SPX, very similar. What you got here, if we zoom in a little bit, you can see you've got yourself a bearish engulfing candle, or a couple of real nice top wicks. All this is top wicks, which tells us there's a lot of selling going on. You can see on the move up, you have a lot of bottom wicks. Move up, top, you start having top wicks. I guess I should call them tails, not wicks. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so it looks like it's curving down here. We've got this, the 200 moving average on the monthly. You can see it offered a lot of support here. It didn't offer any resistance, just offered some support. So I imagine it's going to offer support again to this 1050 area or something like that if we do get back down into there. So keep an eye on that. Things are flattening out a little bit down here. Not much. We're trending down a little bit on the histogram. But notice this month we had an inside day here, which is usually kind of a bearish thing. So overall it looks bearish. Looks like it's turning a little bit. But I keep an eye on it. It just looks like it's starting to trend down, and maybe next month will show us some more. If we look at the Nasdaq, very much same type of thing. All right, you can see we had a whole bunch of white candles. We got one black, and then over here we had a pretty nice large bearish engulfing. This is pretty bearish right here at the top. You may not expect next candle, but I would expect next month or two this is going to drop. Look at how hard the 20 moving average came down right onto the 200 moving average. Look at the Bollinger Bands opened up into this down move. They're still kind of wide, still kind of trending down. But I'll be watching these indicators here. This looks much more bearish than the other two to me. It just looks like it's flattening, and then another inside trade this month. We were inside the range here, okay, for last month. So February was totally all inside except for the tail here of last month's candle. Just looks quite a little bit more bearish to me. The 200 moving average is all the way down at 1900, so you could have quite the move on here. But then if you look at the RUT, which probably gives us a better idea as to what's going on in the market, you can see it actually looks a little more bullish than the other ones. The RUT looks a little stronger. Now I'm saying a little bit. I don't think it looks strong. I'm just saying it looks a little stronger. Obviously the move is flat, and what I'd be watching is this high right here, this 650, okay? This area is going to be key. So the high for that month right there was 649.15. So we'll just call it 650. So 650 is going to be key for this move right in here. And here's our range. You can see I put the drawings on. If we take the studies off, you can kind of see we're kind of been just in this up range right here. All right, so you could easily see us drop out of here. But watch that 650 level is going to be the key. And if we can see that 650 get taken out, then obviously we got to turn bullish. But if it stays beneath that for another month, I would look for this thing, maybe two, I'd look for this to drop as well. Okay, now let's go back just real quick and let's look at some dailies on some of these. Go back to the 1 year. Let's start with the Dow. So what do we see on the dailies? You know, it's just look, it's turning over. All right, it's turning over right over here, and it just came up on the 50 moving average. It's kind of just playing along the 50. Now it's beneath the 50 moving average. Now we've got obviously a doji star right here, kind of a reversal type signal. And if we take the studies off, you can see a little bit better here. So it kind of looks like a bull flag right here, like it could easily pop up to the upside. Just a little bit. It's not a good one because these bigger candles here, obviously, but it just kind of looks like one a little bit. So just keep an eye on it. You can see the volume increased 3 days in a row with this down. The down day here was pretty decent volume, and then this undecisive day is even more volume. But if we look at our bring our studies back in, you can see we're reaching into the overbought range. We're starting to curl down. Pretty strong move down the histogram here. It looks pretty bearish, pretty negative, like we're going to see a little bit of a down move on there. But if we go back to the SPX, and let's drop back for 2 years or something I want to point out to you. So this is going to be 2 year daily. Okay, so 2 years daily. So right here, where is this? What month is this? This is March. This specifically was March 6th. This was the bottom of this current huge move. All right, which I thought was topping out right in this area here. I thought this was the top, made sense, great area, boom. Then I thought, well, we're going to hit the 50, then we're definitely going to top out. We still might. We pierced it a little bit. We still might. We're definitely the move slowing down for sure. But so we went down here from this low. Our absolute low during this time was 662 to where so far our high has been pretty much right here, which is 1155. So, or pardon me, that would have been actually, yeah, 1150. All right, so that started in March. So 1 year, March 6th will be 1 year when this up move started. So keep an eye on that as far as could it be a catalyst for another bounce up, or will this be a 1 year turnaround on this? I don't know that it matters that much. I just find it curious that we're back in that month. And March, the first part of March is historically known as a strong period in the market. Just the first part, not the whole month. Obviously here, it caused a big rally. And if we zip back out, you can see here, you can see we had a little bit of a rally here this March. All right, all the way up into April, which kept going into April off of the down move here. But April was pretty much April, May is when we started our nice down move. So I just find that curious that we're looking back. This rally started in March. It's been a year. So we'll see what happens now. Okay, so are we going to break out? Are we going to break down? March could be the up or the down, or we could be looking like we did back in history at May for the same type of the down move there. All right, let's look at a couple stocks just for kicks real quick while we got a minute. I got JACK, Jack. I like the Jack. It gapped down on earnings, then gapped back up on merger and acquisition news for another food company, but it stalled out on the 200 moving average and pretty much filled. What I like about it is pretty much filled this gap right here. It didn't do it all the way, but close enough on the 200. I like this sucker to drop right back down here. I don't think it'll break above the 200 moving average, but I would use that as a stop just in case it does. Okay, and then another one, Lazy Boy. I just like this to rally, actually. I like this little bull flag here. Pretty strong day with okay volume. You know, he had bigger volume the day before. Okay volume. The indicators are kind of pointing down, so I'd be a little bit more cautious on this. But I just like it as far as the chart goes. The 20 moving average is still above the 50. Pretty strong move. I could see this bouncing up to the upside pretty darn easy. One more, CAR. Budget, Avis Budget Group. Another bullish one, I would say. Let's turn off this. Can't see it very good. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on there. Here we go. Oh, so the 200 moving average, you can see this down move stalled out. We got a bullish engulfing candle coming off the 200. I like this thing to actually pop up a little bit, maybe all the way back up and fill this gap before retesting this 200 again. Okay, indicators are still down, so it might stall out real quick. Use the 200 moving average as your stop. If you're going to play to the upside, and just move your stops up. So anyway, looking back at the monthly, things are starting to look bearish. Moves really flattening out. 1 year, we're 1 year away from this rally right now. So those are things to keep in mind. We got tons and tons of economic news this week. It's going to be a hard-hitting week. I think we're going to see a lot of volatility. Monday through Friday, we got news coming out. So this will be the AK Option Traders signing off. Trade well.